Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome to my channel. My name is Liaqat Zaman. You are watching Roots of Knowledge. Videos that I make on this channel are absolutely free for everyone, inshallah, to benefit, to be able to learn the Arabic language, the Quran, Hadith, Fiqh, and all sorts of other things as well. So, if you guys are not familiar with my channel, please check out my channel. And without any delay, let's have a start. Let me just show you. This is what someone sent me. This is a lovely bookmark, mashallah. Here's a nice bookmark, Caesar. Stop. Had it over here, I'll show you guys. Right, so we are going through Naqis in Sarf. So this series is dedicated to learning about the verbs in the Arabic language, right? At the moment we are on Naqis. Here's where verbs contain the waw or the ya at the end of the letter. We've talked about all of these. We've said there's 3 rules here, 3 rules here, 2 rules here, 1 rule here, 3 rules, 3, 3, 1, 3, right? Now we're going to go on to the mazid now. Now, some of you guys said that you found the previous one a bit difficult to understand, right? So, I think first of all, before we actually do any mazid, let's do some examples. Now, it's difficult to kind of look through the Quran and find examples like that. So let's have a look, for example, like some Arabic words that we can use. So let's, for example, use the Arabic word jaza. Okay, so jaza. Okay, so jaza, jazyun with a ya, ja, jim, za, and ya. Okay, so you got jim, za, and ya. This is from jaza. So this would now, how are we going to deal with this now? So from here, okay, so it's actually jaza yajzi, rama yarmi. So it's going to have 3 rules that are going to go with the rama. Right, so there's going to be the 3 rules over here. So how would you say with jaza, how would you say, so jaza means to reward. How would you say I rewarded, I rewarded? So what you're going to say, literally you would have said, ja, zay, tu. Right? No need to do any sort of changes there, right? Because the rule does not apply to this one, and you're fine. However, if you wanted to say she, so this is I. What if you want to say she? She rewarded. So in this case, literally it would have been ja, jazayat, jazayat, jazayat. That's what it would have been. However, here changes occur. What are those changes that occur? So first of all, you got ya before it a fatha. So you know what you have to do. You have to make it into an alif. So it's going to become jaza, jazat, jazat. You can't have jazat. So you're going to get rid of the alif. And then you're going to be left with jazat. Jazat. Yeah. So jaza, jazaya, jazaw, jazat. How would you say they? Right, they masculine, they plural masculine. So again, normally you'd think you're going to say jaza you, jaza you. Okay. However, over here you can't do that because again you got the fatwa here, so this is going to become ja zai jazaw, right? So you can't have that, you can't have jazaw. So what's going to happen? You're going to get rid of the alif and it's going to go, and then you've got jazaw, jazaw. Okay, so a lot of these rules are sort of like very straightforward. Once you've grasped the whole concept behind it, it is very, very straightforward, very simple to kind of get your head around. So this is one example, jaza, okay? Okay, let's try another word now. Let's try khala yakhlu. Right, so khala. Now this word originally is kha, lam, wow, khalo. Yeah. Now if you wanted to say I, khalawtu, right, there's no real difference. But if you want to say something like they 2 times 2 females, yeah, you're going to have to say kha, right, kha لا خلوتا. Now خلوتا, you can't have خلوتا. Why can't you have خلوتا? Because you've got the fatha before it, so you're going to have to change that into an alif. So it's going to have to become خلا خلا خلاتا. Yeah, خلاتا. Now over here we said that this rule is exempted in the dual, right? So in the dual this is exempted. In other words, we're gonna get rid of the alif here, right? So normally we would only get rid of the alif if there was a sukoon after it, but there isn't a sukoon after it. Yeah, it's actually a fatha after it, but we're gonna get rid of this alif because this is the one where we said in the dual feminine we actually don't have it. So it's gonna become khalata. Khalata, khalata. Okay, and you know this is similar to this one over here. Right, so if you remember, we said jatha, jathaw, jathawu, jatha. Right, now I actually, you know, in the beginning I didn't tell you that one over there because the example that we had was she and they. So, but you got the idea. Jathawa is going to become the alif. Jathawa, jathawa, it's going to stay the same. The dual stays the same. Jathawat becomes jathat, and then jathawata, jathata. Here the alif is actually removed because of this. So alif before ta feminine gets removed, and then the rest are all the same. So the rest are all going to be basically you know, jathat, jathata, right? Jathaw, khala, khalat. So khala, khalawa, khalaw, khalat, khalata, khalaina, khalauta, khalawna, khalauta, khalautum, khalautum, khalauti, khalautuma, khalautunna, khalautu, khalawna. Right, that's how it's going to work. So you need to do lots of practice basically. It's practice that's going to make it work. Now, I know you're going to be thinking to yourself, how do I get from here to here? It's going to take a bit of time, but don't worry, inshallah, you should be able to do. So we'll try to do every lesson. We'll try to do a few examples of applications so that you guys can understand it. All right, now let's go on to mazid now, right? So we want to do a bit of mazid. Mazid, remember we said, what is mazid? Is these ones over here. So here, the rule is going to stay the same. The only thing that we need to understand about mazid, so if we do Naqis, this pen seems to be drying up very quickly. So here we're going to do Naqis, right? So we're going to have waw and we're going to have ya. However, we're gonna do the al-mazid. Mazid means where there's extra letters, right? From the normal 3 letters that you have, there's extra letters there. So if we were to do the full whack, yeah, so normally you have akrama, right? So akrama, 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 akramu, akramat, and this is, you know, why it's important to memorize all of this list, because memorization, I remember when I was memorizing, it was just like so difficult in the beginning, but once I memorized it, I mean, I am so grateful that my teacher made me memorize it, because now I just have to look back at it and I just think to myself, this makes so much sense now, and because through memorization. Otherwise, you don't memorize it, you keep on having to go back to your notes, and then it's just so hectic. Akramti, akram, tuma, akramtu, akramtunna, rather, akramtu, and akramna. Now I'm just going to do one, and the rest of them are going to be the same basically. So that's why I don't want to spend too much time on this. So if we started off with something like, for example, let's say a'ta. Okay, so you got a. And a'ta originally is a'tawu. A'tawa, a'tawa, akrama. Akrama, a'tawa. Now obviously you can't have that. You got a waw, before it is a fatha, so you're going to have to change this waw into an alif, right? So it's going to become a'ta. Yeah, a'ta. And the same goes for the dual. So the dual is going to be a'tawa, أعطى أعطى. This one we're going to keep it the same. Yeah, this doesn't have to change because we said in dual it's unaffected. Yeah, so this stays the same. أعطى 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 أعطى. However, because this is a mazid, yeah, because this is a mazid, this is actually going to become a ya. Right, we're going to change this into a ya. Now, in mujarrad, you would keep it the same. In mazid, this is the rule. So change waw into ya. Yeah, change waw into ya. So a'tawa is actually going to become, let's get rid of this, a'ta a'taya. Yeah. أعطى أعطيا Okay, next one is أعطى أعطوا أعطوا أعطوا. This is considered to be a waw, and then before the waw you have a fatha, right? So you got to change this, right? It's going to change into an alif. Once that changes into an alif, you can't have the two sakins together, so you're gonna have to get rid of this. So you're left with a'taw. So you got a'ta a'taya a'taw, right? And then you want to come on to this one then. So a'tawat, right? Same thing over here. You got the fatha over here. You're gonna change it into an alif. It becomes a'tat. Okay, oh, it's dropped off. Then you move on to the dual. The dual is going to stay the same, right? So, except for the alif is going to drop off. So a'tawata. Here, this is going to change to an alif, and then it's going to be removed. So it's going to become a'tata. Yeah, and then the rest of these are all going to be a'tayna. So in other words, a'tawna, supposed to be a'tawna. You change this into an alif, so the fatha before it, and then you have to change it into a ya because it's mazid. The waw has to be changed to a ya, or alif has to be changed to a ya, and this then becomes a'tayna. And all the rest are going to be like this. A'tayna, a'tayta. Even though it's not a waw, it's not a ya, it's a waw, but that's just a'taytuma, a'taytum, a'tayti, a'taytuma, a'taytunna, a'taytu, and a'tayna. There you have it. Right, so that's what you have to understand for this. Now, if you were to apply it to all of these, you're going to get the same results. Right, so for example, like let's do istafa. Originally it was from safawa. So istafawa becomes istafa, right, like this. Istafa, istafaya, istafaw, istafat, istafata, istafayna, istafayta, istafaytuma, istafaytum, istafayti, istafaytuma, istafaytunna, istafaytu, istafayna. Samma. Sammawa changes into samma, sammawa, and becomes sammaya, sammaw, sammat, sammata, sammayna, sammayta, sammaytuma, sammaytum, all this to the end. Next one, ta'alla. Ta'alla was originally ta'allawa, ta'alla, ta'alla, ya, ta'allaw, ta'allat, ta'allata, ta'allayna, ta'allayta, ta'allaytuma, ta'allaytum, ta'allayti. Inmaha. Inmahawa, it was originally, change it to an alif. Inmaha, inmahaya, inmahaw, inmahat, inmahata, inmahayna, inmahayta, inmahaytuma, inmahayti, all the rest. Ghala, ghala, right, the same thing. Ghala, ghalaya, ghalaw, all the to the end. Yeah. Ghalayna, ghalayta, ghalaytuma. Ta'ala. Right, so I don't have it in here, but Allahu Ta'ala. Ta'ala, ta'alaya, ta'alaw, ta'alat, ta'alata, ta'alayna, ta'alay. See, once you memorized one, the rest of them, you can just, knock it off. Right, you can just parry it all. You understand all of it. And it all goes to the end. Istarkha, istarkha, istarkhaya, istarkhaw, istarkhat, istarkhat. All the way to the end. So this is the main rule that you only have to understand over here. Yeah. And if I have my rules page, you can add this in as well. Right, so you can say that in the Mazid, this is number, actually I messed this all up, number 9, in Al-Mazid, change waw to ya. Yep. And that's the one we're talking about. Right, so, and this goes, the same goes for the ya as well. Now, I'm not going to write the ya one, but I'll just show it to you guys. So, aghna, for example. Actually, I'll write the ya. Right. Starting to feel sorry. So, thinking. So, if you look over here, it's aghna was originally aghna ya. Aghna ya. You got an alif. You got a fatha, so this changes it to an alif, and it's going to become aghna. Aghna. Yeah, aghna. Aghna. Again, aghnaya, aghnaw, aghnat, aghnata, aghnayta, aghnaytum, aghnaytum, all those to the end. Right, so it's going to be exactly the same as we mentioned over there. Yeah, and the same goes for this one as well. Ijtaba, ijtabaya, ijtabaw, ijtabat. Right, the same thing all the way there. Laqqa, laqqa, laqqaya, laqaw, laqat. Tamanna, tamannaya, tamannaw, tamannat, tamannata. Rama, 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 ramaw. Rama, ramaya, ramaw, ramat. All this end. Tanaha, tanahaya, tanahaw, tanahat, tanahatat, tanahayna, tanahayta. And istaghna, istaghnaya, istaghnaw, istaghnat. All this end. Right, so this is basically how you have to understand how this works, right? It is kind of confusing in the beginning, but once everything fits together, you just think to yourself, these are the rules that this is governed by, right? So if we were to, let's say, for example, maybe try some examples, practice some, let's say, for example, let's say we want to use the verb ishtara. Yeah, so ishtara. Okay, ishtara. Now originally this is from sheen, ra, and sharaya. Yeah, so sharaya. So if, for example, now we want to say, for example, how would you say we purchased? So you're going to say ish tarayna. Very simple, no changes at all. Ish tarayna. How would you say she purchased? Ish originally would have been ishtarayat. Ishtarayat. So ishtarayat, right? You got the fatha there. This is going to be changed to an alif, and then this becomes ishtarat. Yeah, ishtarat. Okay, alif gets dropped off because there's two sukuns there, and then the female dual would have been ishtarata. Yeah, the alif would have dropped as well. So this is ishtarat. Let's take another one. Let's take so I don't know. Let's try ala. That's a mujarrad anyway. I'm trying to look for a mazid. Let's ta'ala. Ta'ala. Yeah, exalted. Ta'ala. So originally it's from ulu, ain, lam, and waw. Right? This would have been originally, if you want to say I, ta'alaytu. You see, over here, originally would have been a waw, but because of that rule, that all the mazid ones of Naqis have to take ya, then we just give it ya. Okay, so ta'alaytu, ta'alayta. Yeah, so ta'alayta. Yeah, ta'alayta, you are exalted above all. Yeah. فَتَعَالَى اللَّهُ الْمَلِكُ الْحَقِّ. So ta'alayna, ta'alayta, ta'alaytuma, and so forth. So these are various types of verbs over here, Naqis ones. Now, let me know in the comments if you guys need more help with this. In fact, let's have a look in the Quran, because Mazid ones are quite a few, but we're not going to get all the ones that we're actually looking for, right? So we're not going to get, you know, all the different types of conjugations and changes, but we are going to find some good ones. So let's have a look. Okay, so you got La tukallimun. Okay, so you know that one now. So this is just a normal sahih. It's got no huruf illa in there, right? So it's not really too difficult to kind of deal with that one there. يتضرعون تضرع. So this is again sahih. There's no tuhsharuna. This is, now we've only done past, by the way. Next lesson we're going to be doing the present ones. Tattaquna. This is a present one. This is, yeah. In fact, the past for this is ittaqa, right? So the past for this would be ittaqa. Ittaqa. Yeah. So here's ittaqa, right? So originally it's from the word waqa, yeah. Now, although it's got ya at the end, but it's also got a waw at the beginning. This is another type that we're going to be discussing called lafif. Yeah, lafif is where you have like two huruf illas in there, right? So this is another type that we deal with. Fata'ala, ta'ala, that's from ta'ala, ta'alaw. Wow. Ta'ala. Yasifun is actually from yawsifuna, mithal wawi. So yasifun is actually yaw, there's a waw there. And that waw has been cut off because of what we learnt in the mithal one, right? That it doesn't start off with, the waw has to be removed. Yumitu, amata yumitu. So this is the ajwaf, bab if'al, right? And originally it would have been yumwitu, but the waw has to be changed into a ya in this one, just as we've learnt in the mithal. If you can't remember this, go back to the ajwaf ones, and over there you'll remember it, inshallah. Yeah, and that's it basically. So this is, have a go. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this. To me, Sarf is quite technical. It's very mathematical. It requires knowing all the previous bits to understand this. But once you get your head around it, it's very easy to understand. Trust me, it's very easy to understand. Right, so Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much for watching this. Today we covered Mazid. We basically covered all of this. Now we're going to move on to next time, the present verbs. Inshallah, they're going to be quite easy as well. Not very difficult. So a few rules that we need to understand. And there we have it. So thank you to all my patrons for all the support you guys show my channel. You know, the love you guys show. Jazakallah khair. Really appreciate it. You know, it means a lot to me. And if you guys want to support my channel, help me make more videos like this, then please check out the description below. Links in the description. If you want to pay a one-off PayPal, or you want to become a monthly supporter of the channel, please check out the link. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much, guys, and take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.